Hello, we're in the theater today. We're going over this giant cinema projector. First thing we gotta do is turn it on. Everything is ran into this uninterruptible power supply. In case we lose power, the battery in this sucker kicks on and it'll keep the thing running so that the bulb doesn't just shut off immediately. So, hold down the power button. Here the fan starts spinning. It takes it a while to power up. After it's warmed up, we go up here to this touch panel and we gotta power up the lamp. So you can hit the green power button, that'll fire everything up. That'll take a few minutes. After the main power is on, you want to switch the lamp on by hitting this lamp button. And that'll take a little while to warm up. After it does, we can hit this dowser button, which is basically just a shutter that closes in front of the lamp. That way it'll allow light through the lens. So next we're going to want to select our input for what's being fed to the projector, and we really only have two. So these two at the top, the scope DCP wide and flat DCP normal, both correlate to the GDC down below. And the wide and normal, scope and flat are just different resolutions depending on the format of the movie. So you can mess with those, find the one that works for the screen. The other inputs are these two, HDMI wide, HDMI normal, and those correspond to the rack over there with the Blu-ray player and the Cinelink. So for some movies we'll be using this guy, the GDC, and this takes actual hard drives with the films on them. So they'll send them to us like a week before. We'll pop this sucker open, stick it in there, and then we'll ingest it with the touch panel over on the side here. After you enter the password, you'll come to this screen. We'll go to the control panel. We'll go to manage content. Go to the ingest tab. You select the source and you should see it over here. Unfortunately, I don't have a hard drive to demonstrate it, but y'all are really smart. You'll be able to figure it out. You'll select what you want over here. You'll hit ingest, and basically the GDC is just a giant hard drive, and it'll just copy the movie over to the hard drive. Once you get that all set up, go back to the main screen, go to this list over here, and we should see what we just ingested over in the menu over here. We can go to a trailer, and from there we set the show that we want to run. So we're usually just playing one movie, so we'll pick the movie, let's say Coco. We'll add it over here. There it is. Let's get rid of this one. And there's our playlist basically. So, load show to play. Save it. Now we got it. Hit the play button. And it'll just run. If there's multiple things in the playlist, it'll just play through all those. And that's pretty much it for the GDC. Alright, so there's three other methods for sending video over to the projector. And all three of them are routed through this switcher up here, which we have labeled. So there's the Cinelink, which is basically just another hard drive that we download movies to from Swank, and they're activated on a certain date. There's the Blu-ray player, pretty obvious. And then there's a input for the laptop in case we want to run slides or anything before a show, and the cable for that lives over on the tech table just across the way right there. So you're going to want to select whatever input you're going to use. So if we're using the Cinelink, select that guy on the switcher, and then the control for that is over here. So the Cinelink should always be on because it always needs an active internet connection in order to download movies. So it should always be on. Come over here, you power up the monitor, there's a button on the bottom. And then we get the menu right here. There's only one thing on it right now, but usually there'll be a few more movies in a kind of a carousel. You can scroll through them, and then the rest is pretty obvious. You double click it to play. You can resume it if you want, or start it over. And that's pretty much it for the Cinelink. Alright, so the other source is the Blu-ray player. If y'all work for tech, you know how to work that. That's pretty obvious. Just select Blu-ray over here and be ready to rock. So the other thing we have up here are the preview and program screens. These are going to give you previews of all the different inputs. So we can see the Cinelink here, see the Blu-ray player right there. If we have something plugged into the laptop at the table, that shows up right here. And then this shows us our program, which is what's displaying out there to the actual projector. So if we select the Cinelink, since I got a movie playing already. There it is. See the movie playing. Alright, so the next step after we get our video all set up is we want to get our audio going. And everything is ran through this processor up here that feeds the surround sound system out in the theater. So this processes it, sends it down to the amps, which are all down here. Switch them all on. And these all go in order. It's left, right, surround left and right. There's a spare and then the subwoofer drivers on the bottom. So after those are all fired up, we also have this guy, which is basically just a monitor. It has a little built-in speaker, and you can monitor whatever's being sent to whatever speaker you want. So you select the sub, left, right, surround left, right. You can hear whatever you want. That way you can monitor and make sure there's actually sound going out there. Cool. Processor, there's a few different inputs. The GDC is for the GDC. The QU16 is for the mixer here. We don't use that too often because none of the signals here really run through that. And then the BluRay is everything over in this rack over here that we just looked at. So we're going to select BluRay. See the green light comes on, and we also see the meters going on here. There's left, right, surround left, right, center, and the subwoofer's down on the bottom. And then if we turn up our monitor here, we have sound. So that's pretty much it. This should always be on. We'll always be ready to rock. This knob right here will give you volume control. So if it's too high, you can bring it down. Alright, so finally, at the end of the night, once you're done with everything, you want to shut the lamp off, which is this button right here. You'll hit that. You'll get a countdown. It takes about 10 minutes for the thing to cool down. So you got to hang out, wait for that to cool down. Then you'll hit the main power button, and that'll shut everything off. And last but not least, after everything is powered down, we can cut off the UPS uninterruptible power supply by just holding this guy down until it beeps at us. Bibbidi bobbidi bacon.